Okay, folks, I've got an interesting story to tell you. This actually happened to me. It's a true story. I had to take my daughter back to Texas to visit her mom, and on my way back, I was pulled over in Louisiana at about 2:30 in the morning by two white cops, and they proceeded to tell me that they smelled marijuana in the car and all this crap, and there was nothing in the car. We didn't have any luggage. We were just making a round trip. All right, so he gets us both apart. These two guys, they were both. He's talking to, uh, she's talking to one officer, and I'm talking to another officer. Okay. So then they say, well, we still think they searched it first without a dog, and then they brought the dog out. Okay, and then they had the dog going through the car, searching in the car, and about halfway through the search, the cop turned to me and said, "You have the right to remain silent. Anything." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, what's what's going on here? Am I being arrested? You know, and what's going on here?" Now you got to remember, it's 2:30 in the damn morning, out here in isolation, the middle of nowhere on the interstate. So, anyways, I said, "I don't know what you're smelling. There's nothing in the car. You search it again." And so the other police officer made a gesture to the one that was talking to me, and like, "No, we didn't. There's nothing here." All right, and so he turned around and looked at me and says, "Have a nice night," and let us go. So the point of the story, which that was scary. I'm going to tell you right now, that was scary. Because you don't know what could happen. All right? The reason I'm telling you this is that black people, you don't have a monopoly on being afraid of the police at certain instances. You don't have a monopoly on that at all. I guarantee you that happens to more white people than black people. But I didn't, you know what I did? I said, I am not going to let them get away with this. So I made a call to that area of Louisiana, and I reported those two guys. All right, I didn't hear anything else back from it. I thought, well, I just wasted my time, but at least I did. I went about this to try to bring some attention to this. Didn't hear anything about it for a while, and then a year later, I was watching the news, and sure enough, there were two officers working that stretch of the interstate. They ended up getting busted, and they got rid of them. That's how you do it. You don't just get rid of all of them because they're not all bad. And what I'm afraid of is that we're going to end up with not being able to get good people to be policemen. That's what I think is going to happen if this continues. And then all you're going to have is bad cops. I'm telling you, because there's going to be some people that don't want to be a cop so they can get in on this action. It's going to happen if we don't stop it. So there you go. There's a true life story of something that actually happened to me. And so there you go. You take it for what it is, but you don't have a monopoly on being afraid of the police or being worried when you get pulled over. Because if you're not worried, then you don't have a conscience, for one thing, most of the time. But you also notice that I didn't get up in his face. I didn't do anything. I showed him, I bucked up on him a little bit, just a little. Because I think anybody would. I think he expects that from everybody with this little scam that they were pulling. Telling me that, if you've just got a small personal sack of marijuana, then, this can all go away. I could see what he was doing. I could see what they were doing. So that's all I got to say. You know, folks, listen to this, okay?